One of the suggestions that I make at the end of the chapter on the text is the idea that quite possibly one way to move forward in our discussion is, instead of using the eclectic text that we traditionally use in New Testament studies, that perhaps using a single manuscript would be a possible way forward. And I know that that strikes a number of people as perhaps a surprising and maybe even unworkable proposal, but I think it's actually one worth considering. Ever since the 19th century, we've had primarily the use of an eclectic text in New Testament critical scholarship, starting with something like Westcott and Hort's is probably the best known from 1881, and various texts that have been developed since then. All of these are eclectic texts, which means that they don't actually match up with any given manuscript, but they're a reconstruction by scholars who are trying to think about what the earliest text might have been. And that's, as I think, a good goal, to try to work back to the earliest published version of a text. However, at the end, we have the product of contemporary scholarship, and it's not really a text that the ancients ever used. It's a reconstructed text. It serves a legitimate purpose. But if we were to go back, let's say, to use Sinaiticus as a text, this is a manuscript that dated to the 4th century, and it was an actual text that was used by the early church. And I think then that we can use a text that had life and vibrancy, served a Christian community, and actually be using a text that, yes, it's not the original text, no doubt about that. It is a copy of copies, no doubt also. But it is actually a very early ancient text that would form a whole New Testament that we could use for our scholarship and for translation and for reading.